Okay, we are here today with Peter.
Hello.
He is the founder of the Belfort Group.
That's right.
And we are here to talk about a cover story, an article that was placed in the Knack magazine. It was the cover article story back in July on the 4th, 2010 from a journalist, Joël de Collard.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah.
So, Peter, you had stated to me that there's a couple of things, inaccuracies that he had spoke about in his article about you and the Belfort Group, pretty much anybody who does speak out about anything that's happening in this world. In the article, they had spoke out basically about chemtrails and vaccinations, basically putting a lot of gossip towards the Belfort Group about any of these different topics. Could you clarify exactly what he had put in the article?
Yeah. Well, in the first place, this article was really a breakthrough, because after 9 months of being active as a civil movement, of organizing 4 symposia, and writing a lot of letters to journalists and politicians and administration and so on, after 10 months of being denied, of not being talked about, it was the first time that we got a cover article in the mainstream media in Belgium.
Okay.
So this is great. So I was very grateful for that. And generally spoken, my words were correctly reported in this article. So no problem to that extent. But I had 2 major problems. First of all the issues we are drawing attention to were put in the atmosphere of, oh, it's just fantasy. It's just internet gossip. It's just conspiracy theory. And that just ain't not true. For example, our last international chemtrail symposium, we presented a scientific study of 300 pages. It was filed by an international team of inside experts, so people who are really professionally familiar with the military and civil aviation world. So it was 300 pages of all facts, figures, documents, licenses, patents, and so on, proving that what we are seeing from the surface of the Earth in the sky is really a fact, that especially the United States of America have a long tradition of, let's say, 50, 60 years of manipulating the weather, of manipulating the climate, of doing all kinds of experiments in the sphere of war, chemical and biological warfare. So we have the evidence that in China and in Russia, the government admit they are spraying. In England, the military establishment has admitted that they have been spraying from 1940 till 1979. So that's 40 years of spraying, deliberately bringing harmful substances in the atmosphere. In Germany, just the same. So, basically, what we are saying is not just thinking, it's not just guessing, it has well been proven. But you have to accept the evidence. And up till this moment, the mainstream media and the politicians are just saying, okay, it's not scientific, it's not serious. But it is serious, and we have the evidence. We can prove it. And my second problem is that the people who are reacting against us are always saying we are extremists, and we are dangerous to the state, and that we are anti-Semitic. Anti-Semitic, that means that we hate the Jews, that we have something against the the Jewish people, and that just ain't not true. I asked this journalist, give me one statement of me or of friends of the Belfort Group wherein we say something that's not nice to the Jewish people, or wherein we say something about the Jewish people generally. Okay, let me know, but it's very quiet in the reaction.
So Peter...
So this is a deliberate effort to put us in the corner of dangerous people, because it is illegal to hate a certain race. It is illegal. You can get in jail for being anti-Semitic, and that's just what they're trying to do. So I reacted personally, and on behalf of the Belfort Group, I laid down a complaint to the police department. I wrote to the Institute for Journalistic Ethics to complain about this, that this article was not correct, and deliberately not correct. They tried to put us in, they tried to create a certain atmosphere, and they tried to put us in a dangerous corner.
So Peter, the Belfort Group is not an extremist organization?
Do I look like an extremist? No. I'm 54 years old, I have been married, I have children, I have been in insurance, I have been a teacher, I have been in the local politics. I'm down-to-earth person who's asking himself and the world some questions, but I'm not dangerous at all, no. So, and neither are the 2,000 people who are supporting our movement. We are all normal people. Normal people. We are lawyers, we have scientists, we have doctors, we have workers, we have everything.
Okay, yeah. So can you tell me, Peter, from today's date back until you can remember, you've never had any intentions or any words to show that you would have any type of anti-Semitic ideas, or that you yourself or your organization or your group has any type of ties to any anti-Semitic groups?
No, no, whatsoever. Because basically we say what unites us is not a way of thinking politically, economically, religiously, ideologically. We respect everyone's view. What unites us is that we are worried about the direction our world is going to, and we are making serious questions about certain issues which threaten our liberty, our freedom, our integrity, and the truth. Yeah. So that's what's binding us. And of course, there is a difference between anti-Semitic and anti-Zionistic. And Zionistic has nothing to do with the Jewish people as such. It has something to do with certain people who try to get the world into their power. But it has nothing to do with Israel, it has nothing to do as such with the Jewish people.
And do you have anything that you would like to say to the journalists that had covered this story in the Knack magazine, Joe De Coular? Do you have anything to say to him?
Well, yes, I wrote him 2 emails to congratulating and to thank him for the article as such, and to say that I was disappointed on 2 levels. And I also informed him that I laid down a complaint against him for accusing me of anti-Semitic views. I was not going to take that because it's dangerous, and principally we cannot accept this.
Okay, have you received any reply from him since you had seen
No.
it?
No.
So you believe this is a deliberate smear on your credibility?
Yeah. Yes. And I think we know from which side this is coming. It's from the, what we call the people who are skeptical about everything that is not conform to the normal way of thinking. People who are spiritual, for instance. People who are not following the science as it is today, the mainstream science. They are all made ridiculized and so on, and attacked and stigmatized and so on. So I would say to every journalist, please take us serious. We are honest people, and what we are trying to draw the attention to, we have proof, we have evidence. So take notice of us, check everything, double check it, but take us serious.
Now, Peter, do you have any web addresses for your group, the Belfort Group, or any other email addresses or websites you would like to give to the listeners?
Yes, so I have to check my... well, we have two websites. We have the www.Belfort group.eu, Belfort-group.eu, and www.citizensinactionbelgium, one word, citizensinactionbelgium.ning.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Peter, for the interview.
It was my pleasure.